Hello everyone, Alex here from Japanese Masters, and today we're going to go over Minna No Nihongo Lesson 5, Part 3, that is Noun Vehicle Day, ikimasu, kimasu, and kaerimasu. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right on into this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and translate this into English as we normally do. What exactly does this structure mean? Well, this structure's main meaning is to go by a vehicle. And what I mean by by is by means of. So by taxi, by bus, by airplane, something like that. By car, any of those things. In Japanese, when we want to say that we're going by something, by means of, that is where this de particle is going to come into play. Let's go ahead and break this down a little bit more, though. Okay, so the most important part of this lesson is going to be the de particle. Now, in earlier lessons, we may have seen de used to basically say where a verb is taking place. So you could say, restaurant de tabemashita. Like, I ate at the restaurant. That's where the verb is taking place, is at the restaurant. However, de is one of those particles that's going to have a lot of meanings. And one of those meanings is by means of. Now, you could think of it kind of like it's the same general meaning, that the verb is happening at the place. Like, for example, if you're going to say that you're going somewhere, when you use the de particle, you're saying the act of going somewhere, the ikimasu, the actual verb. Where is that verb actually taking place? That verb would be taking place in a car. So where is the action of actually heading to a location taking place? It would be in the vehicle or in the car, bus, or however you're going to get to that location. So that is why de, although the meanings seem like they're really, really far apart, it actually is almost the same kind of meaning because it's still fulfilling the role of saying where a verb is going to take place. If that sounds totally confusing, then just remember that de has another meaning, that if it's placed after a vehicle or by a means of transportation, then it means by means of. Okay, then of course we have our ikimasu, which just means to go, kimasu, which just means to come, and kaerimasu, which means to return home or return to some home place, like a home base of sorts. Okay, let's go ahead and go through a couple of example sentences. Okay, so the first example sentence is, I came from Korea by airplane. Kankoku kara hikoki de kimashita. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over here is just really simply Kankoku. That is just the Japanese word for Korea. Then we have kara, which is, you might have seen it before to discuss like the meaning of because. You can use kara to mean because. However, in this instance, kara is just meaning from. I think we also used it when we're talking about time. You could say when something begins and when something ends by saying kara and made. This is just another meaning of kara, which is from. So from a destination to another destination. I didn't put the actual destination that they're going in this sentence, but you could if you wanted to. Then hikoki, that complicated looking word just means airplane. It's actually kind of funny. This one means fly, this one means go, and this one means machine. So basically, an airplane is a fly-go machine in Japanese. I always use that to help me remember it because it sounds kind of funny and almost like you're a second grader. But yeah, so that's what they decided to use for that word. And then we have our particle here, our de. So like I said, we have a vehicle here, and then after the vehicle, we have the de particle. So whatever vehicle comes before the de particle, that is going to be our by means of. That's why I said by airplane. If we wanted to make the sentence a little bit longer, I could have said, I came from Korea by means of an airplane. But that sounds a little bit unnatural, so I just said by airplane. Or you could also translate that maybe to, I came from Korea on an airplane or something like that. But this is our basic structure here. We're going to have a vehicle, we're going to put de, and we're going to put kimashita. That's just saying how we actually came here, how we got to this destination. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next example. The next example is, I went home on foot. That is going to be ashi de ie ni kairimashita. I think there's one more. There we are. Okay. Ashi de ie ni kairimashita. Okay, so first thing, we have ashi, just means literally foot. So that is kind of our mode of transportation here, is our feet. It is a perfectly valid means of transportation. Then we have ie, which means house. I noticed that for some reason these are a little bit off, but that goes there and that goes there. Ie ni, and then to return home would be kaerimashita. Now, as we talked about before, this ie ni isn't totally necessary, but I just want to put it in there to really emphasize that where we're going, we are going home. And then here's our day, which goes after our mode of transportation. Although your feet aren't technically a vehicle, they are a mode of transportation, so it works in this sentence. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the last example. The last example is, I went to Tokyo by taxi and bus. That is, basu to taxi de Tokyo e ikimashita. Okay, so first things first, we have basu and taxi. These are just the katakana representations of the word bus and taxi. They are loan words, so if you're thinking that they sound very, very close to English, they do. And then right after that, we have our mode of transportation. We have our day. That is saying that bus and taxi by we went to Tokyo. So this can be used if you want to say more than one mode of transportation that you went to a place with. Other than that, we have our real simple. I think I forgot to put the katakana. There we are. Other than that, we have our Tokyo here, which of course is just the city, the capital of Japan, and then our ikimashita, which is just went, the past tense of iku, which is to go. And that is going to be basically it for this lesson. The real main point of this lesson was to talk about the day particle and how it has another meaning to say by means of transportation. If you get that from this lesson, then you have learned what you need to learn from this lesson. The real basics, the structure of it is that you put some vehicle, you put day, and then you put a moving verb, like to go, to come, to return, something like that. And that will say how you actually got there, how you went there, how you came, how you returned home, by what means of transportation. So that is going to do it for today's lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer that. Until next time, guys, keep studying Japanese. All right, everyone. See ya.